Girls belong to many cherished and celebrated groups. It goes without saying that they have flourished in a range of fields and practices, but a group not very high on that list would be World War II veterans. For some reason, though, one of the largest franchises in the gaming industry, Battlefield, has put a woman front and center. Also, she's an amputee.
And the right wonders why people think we're misogynists. Battlefield is a video game series popular for large-scale multiplayer battles. Two teams of people use knives, guns, tanks, aircraft, watercraft, bombs, and other weapons to rack up more points than the other team. The series does take a more realistic approach than, say, Titanfall, Fortnite, or Halo. The weapons and settings are usually grounded in reality. The developers of the game go to gun ranges so they can make the weapons in the game feel like firing the real thing. Obviously, it's not a one-to-one simulation, but they do their best. The same goes for the vehicles, boats, the way the characters move across the terrain, and almost everything else about the game. It's clear that realism or believability is the goal of the Battlefield series. But as with every game, the main goal is to be fun. It's called a game for a reason. It's for this reason that the Gravity and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, a skateboarding game that's goal is to make players feel like professional skateboarders, allows for the character in the game to jump significantly higher than the skaters they represent can in the real world. Or why Battlefield itself bends the rules a little when it comes to controlling a helicopter, or how players' health regenerates after having not been shot for a period of time. If the game isn't fun, no matter how realistic it is, no one will play it. There are things created to be as close to reality as possible. A video game like Spec Ops: The Line is created for this reason. Yes, it's telling a fictional story, but it's set in our world and it exists to give the players an idea of how combat affects a soldier's mind. World War II games of yesteryear were trying to give players the feeling like they were in the thick of battle against German Nazis. They still bent the rules, generating health and all that, but the game is very, very grounded in something resembling reality. Battlefield isn't really about that. In early 2018, when Battlefield publisher EA and developer DICE revealed Battlefield 5, I was skeptical, but not because of anything in the trailer. I'm suspicious that EA will ruin it with loot boxes or expensive DLC or something stupid like that. Even as they claim to be distancing themselves from loot boxes, EA has a track record of finding new and unexplored ways of nickel and diming their player base. So I'm gonna wait until the game is launched and see how it goes before making any purchasing decisions. What I didn't expect was the fan reaction to the trailer. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. If you're like me, you'll watch it and think, dang, if this game is anything close to being well represented here, I mean, after all, there's not any actual gameplay footage in the trailer. Oh, this looks like it's freaking amazing. You probably didn't even really notice, or if you did notice, you didn't care, that a female with a fake arm is featured quite prominently in the trailer. But the internet noticed. Oh boy, did the internet notice. And for some reason, it wasn't happy about it at all. Citing my historical accuracy, the internet got itself all up in a friggin' tizzy that players will have the chance to play as a woman with a prosthetic limb in a game about two large teams going head-to-head against each other to see who can cause the most mayhem. A game where it's possible to fly off in a plane, eject from that plane, shoot the pilot of another plane in the head while you're in the air, and land inside the cockpit of that now free plane and fly off with it. This isn't Dunkirk. This isn't even Call of Duty 2. It's a multiplayer shooter that uses a World War II setting as its playground and has a single-player mode designed to teach newcomers of the genre how to play the game in preparation for the multiplayer mode. Sure, it's not designed to be as over-the-top as, say, Grand Theft Auto or Just Cause, but it's also not designed to be a war simulation either. It's designed to be fun. Now, in the defense of these people who are angry about this, I do not believe it's because they are actually sexist, misogynistic pigs who don't like disabled people. Yes, her prosthetic arm was a pretty hot topic as well. Sales numbers for Tomb Raider or Nier Automata, Horizon Zero Dawn, the popularity of female characters in games such as Overwatch, these things make it quite clear to me that gamers do not have a problem playing as women. The opening to Wolfenstein 2 has BJ Blazkowicz bound to a wheelchair, and literally all I've heard about that is that it's an amazing gameplay mechanic, so there's no hating disabled people going on here either. I think these people who are upset about the female amputee are actually upset because they think DICE caved to the whims of the SJWs. And that's not a completely unfounded concern. Game developers have, for many years now, made it very clear that they are willing, and sometimes even eager, to compromise their games to please people like Anita Sarkeesian, who will then just make a video about how it wasn't enough. I absolutely understand the fear, but reactions like this...
Can you feel the sunshine? Does it brighten up your day? Don't you feel that sometimes you just need to run away? Reach out for the sunshine, yeah, forget about the rain. Just think about the good times, and they will come back again.
Or why the left thinks the right is just a bunch of angry white sexists. I could not find a single positive comment or a single negative comment that wasn't a direct response to the woman in the trailer. Some of the comments included other complaints like unrealistic flying mechanics and a whole bunch of stuff like that, but every negative comment that I found included something about the woman. Look, is DICE a bunch of SJW snowflakes? Maybe. Was this decision motivated by a desire to look inclusive? Probably. Is a woman being in a multiplayer shooter going to ruin the game? Not unless simply picking her makes your team win because inclusivity. And nothing in this trailer suggests that that is going to happen. There are plenty of legitimate reasons out there to believe that political correctness is overrunning everything, and that diversity of appearance is valued over diversity of thought, and that these things are slowly eroding away at things that we enjoy. But a woman being featured in a multiplayer shooter that happens to take place in a World War II setting, that is not one of those reasons. Y'all need to pick your battles better. This is why the left looks at our side and goes, "Oh my gosh, what a bunch of sexist, misogynist old white dudes." Because occasionally, that's what we look like. Stop it. Just stop it. Jeez. What?